Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought, number 1859. This has how many days I've come to you with Morsels of a Thought, which I hope is wisdom, because knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and doing it is virtue. So, what I do is I read from different authors' books. Today, we're reading from Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider's book, The Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work. How do you like that? That is always a good thing, knowing what to do to make your marriage work. Now, I've read through all of the books and I want to highlight items that we have read before. And you can see that I've worn out my books a lot because I've actually been married. I actually have been divorced. I did the rules on a person that I chose to do it on, who was attracted to me and I was attracted to them. But they didn't turn out to be the greatest guy. They turned out to be a buyer beware that I found out later on after the wedding had taken place, the marriage, and I divorced him. We never did live together, actually. That was interesting. So I really have no idea what it would have been like, except for I did know the buyer beware parts about the day after I got married. So I figured it out and I said, oh, no, no, no. But that's when you have a buyer beware. When you don't have a buyer beware and you have a good husband, you want to have the romance rekindled every single day if you can. So, the way to do it is the authors say, have a date night. Have a date night. So, this will be a day that you will spend with each other. We've read this one before on June 27th, 2 years ago, 114. It's a short chapter, and it is rule number, right here, page 114. Page 114. Sorry. Have a date night, rule number 28. I'm going to read you rule number 28. Whether or not you have children, but this is even more crucial if you do, you must keep the romance going by reserving one night alone with your husband, preferably Saturday night. It doesn't matter if you rent a video and order in or go to a restaurant and movie. The point is to do whatever it takes so that it's just the two of you. Get a babysitter or send the kids over to grandma's house. You need one night a week without diapers, whining, phone calls, beepers, dishwasher, mobile phone, dishwasher going, crises from family, friends, business associates, clients. You turn your phones off. You're unavailable. What a concept. Don't think, but my children need me. Think, my children need me to maintain a relationship with their father. Don't add up the cost of going out to dinner, the babysitter, the restaurant, the overpriced drinks and dessert, the parking, the movie tickets. Don't think it's cheaper to eat at home. It is cheaper to eat at home, but you simply must have a break from the routine. It's money well spent if it makes you and your husband feel alive, like you're dating. Now, in Chinese Qigong, we have this tranquility, a set of 9 tranquilities that Dr. Yenxing has talked about before. And one of the tranquilities at the very end, on the very top, is Ling Huo Ling de Ling Jing, which is alive tranquility, alive tranquility. It is activation tranquility. And this is well spent if it makes you feel alive, like you're dating, the two of you. The two of you are dating, dating. Okay, so that is a tranquility level that you want to achieve if you possibly can, because you don't usually have it be tranquil, right? I assume. Okay, and it doesn't matter. The authors say co-authors, Fein and Sherrie Schneider, say it doesn't matter if you have to do all the planning as long as somebody does it. Don't stand on ceremony, whatever it takes. Also, if you're usually tired on Saturdays, and who isn't that has kids and or a full-time job, take a nap or lie down for 20 minutes in the afternoon so you can stay up at night. Wear what you think he would like you to wear. If he likes short skirts, high heels, and hoop earrings, wear that even if you feel more comfortable in a pantsuit and loafers. Make an effort to look better than you usually do Sunday through Friday. Wash your hair, put on mascara, try a new lipstick color, dab a little more perfume on, wear a new exciting shirt. You know that shirt you're always saving for a special occasion, a daytime wedding or important business lunch, but not for your husband? Well, on Saturday nights, your husband is the special occasion. Wear it. What to talk about? Don't use the evening to complain about your job, the kids, the finances, what needs to be done around the house. We know how you feel. He's your hostage for the evening, and this is a perfect opportunity to go over your laundry list of grievances and or things to be done. Save it for Sunday afternoon. On Saturday nights, keep it light. Try to listen to him. Smile. Pretend you're dating him all over again. Plan to have sex. Let that be the topping on a perfectly romantic evening. We have found that marriages where the wives do not take date night and sex seriously have less passion and fun. The couple starts to act like roommates, not lovers. And this can go on for months, sometimes years. Now, what if you like to go out and your husband is a homebody? Some wives have found that if they make all the arrangements, their husbands happily join in. Whereas if they wait for their husbands to suggest going out, they never do. Do whatever you have to do to make sure date night happens. But if your husband would really rather eat at home and watch movie on a TV, don't nag him to go out. You can still make it special. Here are 10 tips for a romantic evening at home. Number 1, order in a gourmet dinner, but don't use cartons or paper plates. Use the real stuff. Number 2, eat in your lingerie. Number 3, take out the rarely used candlesticks you got as a wedding gift and dim the lights. Number 4, put on a romantic CD. Number 5, turn off the phones. Number 6, rent a sexy video. Number 7, give him a back rub. Number 8, be playful. Tell him you're his slave or sex toy for the night. Number 9, don't talk about anything negative or serious. Number 10, pretend you're auditioning for a toothpaste commercial. Smile. Okay, so we've read rules for sex. We did that. And we're going to go on to rules for pregnancy. Okay, rule number 30. Okay, I'm going to, okay, should I read number 29 again? You tell me. You tell me. Okay, I'll read number 29 again. All right, rules for our sex. Now we are reading from the Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. And we are reading rule number 29, Rules for Sex, which we read once recently, but let's read it again because it's right here. When it comes to sex in a marriage, husbands rule the roost. Whether you like it or not, or think it's right or fair, your husband determines your sex life. Whether your husband wants it all the time or is not that interested in sex, you will be happiest if you adjust yourself accordingly. So don't turn your husband down repeatedly if he wants sex every night, even if you're a morning person. And don't force sex on a man who wants to watch Larry King or read a book after dinner. Go with the flow, whatever that is in your marriage. We have seen time and again that in this area, it is best for your husband to set the tone. For example, Keith enjoyed a wild sex life before settling down with his wife, Maria. He expected more of the same as a married man, which his wife found exhausting. She constantly came up with excuses. She was either tired or had PMS or the kids were draining. Keith got angry every time. You're always tired. Your period is either coming here or going. You have it 30 days a month, he screamed. We're just roommates if we don't have more sex. He also reminded Maria how exciting his sex life was before he married her. After seeing how unhappy Keith was and finding that her marriage had become passionless, Maria consulted us and decided to make her sex life a priority. He either wants to have sex with you or his 38D secretary. Be flattered he wants to have it with you. Make the effort. A man like Keith wants sex more than anything else. He works hard, pays bills, and helps with the kids. Sex is fun for him. It's his candy, his break. Don't take that away from him, we explained. We told her to act as if she was dating her husband all over again and experiment with what would make him happy sexually as long as she didn't find it offensive. To cut down on other activities so she wasn't so tired when he came home. To stop neglecting her sex life because of her kids, get a babysitter. To stop rolling her eyes when he rented X-rated videos, and to even occasionally resort to pretending she enjoyed sex, even when she would rather be watching TV. Maria followed our advice, and Keith was thrilled. Maria had to admit that cuddling before and after sex made her feel close to her husband, so it was worth the extra effort. On the other hand, some women want more sex than their husbands and don't know what to do about this problem. For example, Janice contacted us about her frustration with her husband, Michael, a stockbroker who often came home late from work and showed little interest in sex. Once or twice a month on a Saturday night was enough for him. When he came home, he typically gave her a hug and a kiss and asked about her day. Then he went straight to the den to read newspapers or check stocks on his computer. Taking a detour into the bedroom for a quickie somehow never crossed his serious cerebral mind. Michael gets off on the Dow Jones, Janice complained to anyone who would listen. Rather than accept his low sex drive, Janice threw tantrums and put pressure on him to make love. Sometimes she was nice about it, greeting him at the door with sexy negligees. At other times, she screamed at him, demanding to know what was wrong with him, with their sex life, and threatened to call a sex therapist for a session. Nothing seemed to work. He only wanted sex once or twice a month. Even when Michael gave in to her demands to have sex more often, Janice felt embarrassed and ashamed, like she was begging. In every other way, Janice was happy with Michael and would never think of divorcing him. He was extremely romantic and affectionate and a devoted husband and father. It was only his lack of interest in sex that bothered her. When we asked about their sex life while dating, Janice admitted that it was only once a week, but she didn't really think about it that much because she was caught up in the excitement of the courtship. He was very romantic and often brought her flowers on dates. She didn't notice the lack of sex where she thought that he was being polite about not trying to end up in bed every time he saw her. She also assumed that their sex life would change when they got married and became angry and demanding when it didn't. We told her that unfortunately, unfortunately, some men have low sex drives, and some men put all their sexual energy into work or sports, and that she would have to accept that Michael was one of them. We said that it would be okay for her to gently initiate sex once in a while, but no screaming fits and threats. We also suggested she compliment his performance instead of harping on how infrequently they had sex. After 6 months of trying our plan, she said she felt better. Even though the sex was not much more frequent than before, she stopped expecting it to change and was more accepting that you Don't get everything in a husband. And once Michael realized that Janice was satisfied with his performance, he relaxed considerably. She found that Michael did not mind his wife's sexual advances, except when she did it in anger, and was actually flattered by the attention and happy to have sex with her at those times. Their sex life was never 3 times a week, but it was more enjoyable than before. A word about Playboy and Penthouse, X-rated videos, and sex toys. Don't hassle your husband about subscribing to these magazines, renting adult movies, buying gadgets, or even occasionally going to bachelor parties held at topless clubs. You can jokingly say, "You can look, but don't touch." A man's fascination with nudity is not a reflection of his love for you. It's just entertainment for him, much like window shopping at Bergdorf's may be for you. You don't understand. You don't have to understand why they like it. Just don't show any disdain or prohibit them from indulging in this pleasure. Men don't necessarily understand women's obsession with handbags and shoes or watching fashion shows on the E channel. How would you like it if they said, "No more E channel"? It's not about understanding why, but about live and let live and allowing your husband to have fun. If you think of it this way, you will realize there is no harm in letting him look at a bare chested woman in a magazine from time to time. We are reading Time Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work. Oops, excuse me. The Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. Let's see. Uh, I'm reading to you what other people tell us about the right things to do. Because when you know the right things to do, you've got some wisdom. When you actually do them, you've got virtue. Rule number 30, rules for pregnancy. A baby can be the most amazing gift in the entire world, but no matter how wanted a pregnancy is, it always has an effect on your court relationship. Going into pregnancy with your eyes open will help you to manage these changes. The first decision you must face is whether you should get pregnant. Okay, let me check on how long this is. I'm just going to check on how long this chapter is because we have a third left. And rule number 30 is, ay, ay, ay. Rule number 30 is 4 pages long. That's good. A baby can be the most amazing gift. Okay. If your relationship is rocky, do not get pregnant to bring your husband closer. You should be close before you have a baby. Babies are very demanding. Taking care of them puts more stress on a marriage, not less. Husbands and wives who are exhausted from diaper changes, feedings, and sleepless nights often say mean things to each other that they would never say otherwise. When's the last time you changed his diaper? In the delivery room? Unless your marriage is solid, do not bring a child into this picture. Before you get pregnant, make sure that the baby is a byproduct of love, your love, not a hidden agenda. Do not Similarly, don't get pregnant to get your boyfriend to marry you or to keep your husband from leaving you. This is a terrible reason to bring a child into the world. A child should not be used as a pawn to settle your marital squabbles or cement your relationship. Besides, bad motives always backfire. Married men walk out on pregnant women all the time. Some leave the delivery room to go to the bathroom and never come back. Having a baby is no guarantee of anything. Bringing a child into a marriage should be a mutual decision, so try to come to a consensus before proceeding. If you do decide, and all of us know somebody who did the wrong thing and has a baby. We all know that people have done the opposite of this before. I have a cousin-in-law who had her baby and wound up raising the baby alone because my cousin walked out on her. And this is a cousin I don't respect, but That's just the way it is. You got family members that do stuff like that, and you can't lecture them into good behavior. You just can't. So you can't control what other people do. So do it when you are both motivated to. If you do, the authors say, if you do decide to get pregnant, the timing can be crucial. Don't rush. Pregnancy is a life-changing adjustment in any marriage. So, unless you have a reason to have a baby immediately, your age, we suggest being married a full year before you try to get pregnant. There are several reasons to wait. First and foremost, make sure you can be happy together for a whole year, not up and down and on the verge of divorce every other week. Waiting a year also gives the two of you precious time together that you won't have again for at least 18 years. A year of sipping cappuccinos in a romantic cafe without having to rush home to the babysitter, of traveling unencumbered by a diaper bag and stroller, of having an intelligent conversation and or sex without being interrupted by baby feedings, not to mention a year of uninterrupted sleep, and that's the least of it. Pregnancies can be extremely complicated and difficult. Some women throw up every day and are so sick that they are on bed rest or even hospitalized. Why spend your honeymoon first year like that? Now that you are pregnant, how should you behave? You can spend your whole pregnancy complaining about every ache and pain, your swollen feet, your sore back, your stiff neck, and calling your husband at work every time you discover a new ailment so he is forced to endure the worst of your pregnancy with you. Why should you suffer alone? You can talk incessantly about Lamaze and Layettes and quote what to expect when you're expecting when he comes home. That's a book. You can lie in bed for 9 months eating potato chips and ice cream and watching soap operas, wear oversized sweatshirts and your husband's pajamas, and look like a truck. Or you can be pregnant with style. Instead of torturing your husband, you can complain to your mother or girlfriends who've been pregnant and know what you are going through and can truly empathize. If you are able, you should work for as long as possible so that your mind isn't on your stomach size 24/7. The 9 months won't feel like 9 years if you are busy being productive, not lying in bed with the remote control. If you are physically able, you should exercise and eat healthy foods so that you look like a woman during and after your pregnancy. Think Cindy Crawford. You do not have to dress like a bum for 9 months. There are many stores that carry fashionable pregnancy clothes at reasonable prices, so you don't have to be ashamed to leave the house. Or try borrowing from a fashionable friend who has children. Don't force your husband to be involved in every aspect of your pregnancy unless he wants to be. There are some men who go to every doctor's visit, never miss a Lamaze class, practice breathing with their wives at home, think they are having hormone swings and feel nauseous too, gain 25 pounds along with their wives, and read pregnancy books with them at night. If your husband is not one of them, don't try to guilt him, don't try to guilt trip him into it. When you meet other women who tell you how involved their husbands are, don't complain to your husband. Don't say, Andrea's husband goes with her to every doctor's visit. Why can't you? A better idea is to try to include him in the fun parts of pregnancy, letting him know when the baby is kicking, framing a photo of the sonogram for his desk, and going over baby names. But don't push too hard. He'll be a daddy soon enough. Okay? So we'll see you tomorrow for Words and Wisdom Wednesday. And this will be again on Thursday. Okay? We'll talk to you later. Old, I want to inspire you to have a great day. So do something good. Okay. Old Kinderhook.